What is the capacity of a floppy disk? Yes, quickly. No one? Don't remember? Jibendi? What is the capacity of floppy disk? Okay, if you don't remember, like take down, it's 1.44 megabytes, right? The floppy disk. What is the capacity of CD? About 700. So which means C is incorrect. So the answer should be the third one, A and B only, right? So that is only a one mistake. Fifth one good, 6 good, 7 good, 8 good, 9 good, 10, 11. Okay, let's look at the 12th one. I think we can. A student could select either string hoppers or bread to eat with dal curry for his breakfast. Which of the following is a logical correct, right? So the first one, it says string hoppers or bread. So that means we have operation in between string hoppers and bread. So you can't eat both string hoppers and bread. You have to eat one of them with dal. So which means you have to, end with curry. So it should be or, followed by end. Right? It was I think the questions that you missed, it seems the easier ones. Okay, 13 also we have error, right? So let's look at 13, question number 13. Right, consider the following tasks: protecting data against viruses, keeping track of files and directories in storage devices, controlling peripheral devices such as disk drives and printers, providing facilities for graphic design. Which of the following tasks are operating system? So we remember we discussed about the 6 different tasks handled by operating system. So what are the things comes under this, right? Remember that when we say talk about this, protecting data against viruses, it's utility programs. Keeping track of files and directories, file management, yes. Then controlling peripheral device management, and there's nothing to directly facilitate graphic design particularly, right? So which means we have to say it should be B and C only, right? So only one incorrect answer there as well. 14 is, so there's a one. Yes, consider the word processing software. It allows format characters into different sizes and colors. Yes, you can change the size of the font. There are different ways you can do this. Increase the font size, or you can say increase font or decrease font. So that's possible. It allows to draw shapes and diagrams in a document. Yes, that's also possible. C, it allows to edit digital video, audio. Not yet, as far as I know, right? So it should be A, B. Question number 15 also, there's a one mistake. Yes, question number 15. Consider the following statement. What a word processing software. It can replace all occurrence of single word Ceylon with 2 words Sri Lanka. Yes, it's possible. It can justify text along the right margin of the document. Yes, that's also possible. It can insert the page numbers only at the bottom document. No, it's not the case. You can actually put anywhere you want. It could be either bottom, it could be either in the top, right? Anywhere, not in the middle, even in the middle. So it should be A, B only, right? Question number 16, all correct, good. Question number 17, insert the row and column spreadsheet is known as intersection. So that's we call cell, right? Definitely it's not a label. Label is where we will look at what we have. In this particular case, it's a label we given, like A for columns, 1 is row. Okay. 18, everyone good. Question number 19. Imagine that you prepare a presentation about Sri Lanka. Which of the following could be included in the presentation using presentation software? Right. Right. A map of Sri Lanka. Yes, you can include the pictures. B, an audio clip of national anthem. Yes. You can include audio as well. A hyperlink directly into use government.lk. Yes, everything is possible. Right. So it should be all A, B, C. Hyperlink means that you can click a link, right? If you're not done this in a presentation, you can go back and see. Actually, you can insert links there. So there's a place where you can insert a link. Right, then 20, 21, good. 22, okay. Most of you are incorrect about this, right? Let's see what's went wrong in 22nd one. Okay, 22nd, there are 3 statements. A relationship is association between 2 or more databases. A relationship. What do you mean by relationship? If you remember the relational databases, is it association between 2 or more databases? No, right? It's only between tables, right? Relations of tables. We use foreign keys to connect 2 tables, not databases. So the first one is incorrect, yes. The types of relations include one-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-many. Yes, that we have already discussed. So when you say one-to-one, if you have 2 tables A and B, a row of A connects exactly one in table B. If you take 1 row in B, it will connect exactly 1 row from A. Likewise, it goes on like this. A relational database can consist of multiple tables. Yes. So the answer should be BC only. I can understand why it is wrong, but remember, when we say relational database, it means you are actually relating tables, not databases. It's a good question. Question number 23. Okay, there's a flow chart to look at this one. Let's say 23. Okay, it's given. Right. So let's look at what are the outputs of the flowchart if the temperature is 28. Okay, so you have to take 28. Yes, 28. Let's say it's 28. So if it is 28, we know set the temperature R. R is 26. Now C is 28. Right, so this is 26. This is 28. So you are checking whether C is greater than R. So basically you are checking whether 28 is greater than 26. Yes, it should be hot then. Then we have 27. You check with 26. Again, it should be hot, isn't it? Now next comes 26. Okay, trickier one. You check with the 26. 26, is it greater than 26? No, right? So which means it goes in this direction. So it should be cold. Right? So the answer should be hot, hot, and cold. Okay, let's move on to the next one. 24. Which of the following control structures are required to convert read current of the flow chart into a computer program? Right? Which of the following control structure? Okay, so I think I had to go to 24. Yes. Which of the following control structure required to convert read current in the flow chart into program? Right? Now, once you have this, you have to identify whether it's a selection or repetition. So it's a selection, right? So when you have selection, if you have 2 choices, then you need if then else. If you have only 1, then yes, if then. So which means we need B, right? Not a loop, not if then. So the answer should be the third one. So that is B only, right? So this will be B only. Right. And then fifth, 25, fifth one, yes, good. 26, there's a one mistakes. Which of the following statements is, okay, again, we have to go back to 26 question. Quickly, I will go there. Okay, so which of the following statements is incorrect regarding variable used in a computer program? A variable has a name. Yes, we have to have a name. We call A, B, or first number, second number, first name, last name, and so on. A variable refers to one or more memory locations. Yes, right? So basically, when you say a variable, it could be one location or it could be more locations. That's also correct. A variable has a data type. Normally, yes, because you can assign integer values, you can assign we call floating point values, you can string and so on. The value of a variable remains unchanged. You know that this should be changed. Variable means it will change in throughout the program. Otherwise, we take it as a constant, right? So which means the last one is the incorrect answer. I think it's one mistakes. So which of the following represents the correct order of precedence in algorithm, order of left to right? So I think you should know that it's always starts with multiplication division. Actually, multiplication division could be any order. So that means this is definitely incorrect because it's plus, right? Addition and subtraction comes later on. Okay, consider, okay, this one is actually quite difficult, it seems. Only very few got the correct answer. We'll go to question number 28. Right, let's move on to question number 28. So this is the one. Which is one possible output of the above pseudocode? Consider the following pseudocode. Input number 1, number 2. Okay. That's a bit of a problem. We are not really sure what is happening, so it's not really clear. So I understand why it's a mistake. So I think that's actually my mistake. So according to the answer, it should be multiplication, right? It's multiplication. So yes. Is it multiplication? Yes, we'll go to the answer. Yes, 5 to 10. It should be multiplication. It's not multiplication. Yes, it's multiplication, right? So any odd is possible, unfortunately. Sorry about that. So I can understand why these questions went wrong. So I'll correct this at least next next time when I use this. So it's not your problem. So yeah, you can add to one mark to whatever the marks you got, right? So that's something wrong with our the graphic here. Okay. 29, yes, which of the following is the correct? Okay, so there are some issues in these questions, especially this is all syllabus before 2015. So we have not discussed something called feasibility study in here, but you have analysis and design and implementation, that order is there. So I think this is the correct answer. So the question number 31. Interweaving the teaching charge in the library, study material, studying a magazine article, describe history of the library, observing how library is being used by the students. Which of the above can be used to gather requirements? How do you get the requirements gathering? So interweaving teaching charge is okay because you know that whatever the features you need for the system, you can get it from the teaching charge. and observing also another one. But the B, it's not really matter, right? So why do you need to like know about the history for, I mean, developing a system? So which means I think we have to go for A and C only. Yes, that I think we have to take it. 32, 33, good. 34, one mistake. Let's look at 34. It says adding echo and changing the input of audio track, editing video clips, which are available in audio editing. So basically you should know this. When you say audio editing, you should, we don't expect that particular software to edit video. So which means it should be A, B only. That is the first one is the answer. Right, then question number 36. Okay, there are a lot of mistakes. Let's look at why this is wrong. Okay, question number 36 actually, it says body. If you remember how to change the background color, it's called BG color, right? If you do not remember this, make a note of this. So in this particular case, we have to use the correct way is body BG color. And usually we expect to have double quotes. That's all. And at the end, we have slash, whatever. So there's no something called background. It should be body, not background. If we say background, it's image actually. If you don't remember this. So these first three are not the correct way of doing this. So the last one is the answer. We have not discussed, this is the latest way using CSS styles. We have not discussed this yet. In actually A levels, we discussed this, but in O levels, we will not, right? So that's what we have. So the first three is incorrect. So the correct one should be like this. Question number 37. So that's obvious. I can understand why it went wrong. So that's okay if you missed it. But I see that there are two, of you like got it correct. Question number 37. Yes, it's a very simple one. What is the correct code for hyperlink? We start with A and it should be href, not URL. So that's, I think, yeah, it's a simple, silly mistake actually. Question number 38, good. 39, yes. Let's look at what's 39. Consider the following statements regarding a malware. Trojan horses at first glance will appear to useful software, but will do damage once installed or run in the computer. Yes, Trojan horse. Yes, Trojan horses, like I think we have talked about this, the history of this one. Looks innocent, but then, it's damage the computer. So A is correct one. A worm can replicate itself. That's why we call a worm. And especially this is affected in the network. So the second one is also correct. And the third one, a computer virus attacks itself to a program file, enabling the spread from one computer to another, leaving infection as it travels. So because it goes through a program, without a program, it's like the coronavirus, right? Without, the human body, you can't spread. Likewise, in computer virus also, you have to have a program, then only it spreads, right? So the answer is all for 39, right? Last one. Consider the following. A person using commercial software without the license, a person using another person's login details, a business reveals information about customers to others without the consent of the customers, a person creating viruses and spread to the other computer. Which one of the considered unethical? Remember, we discussed the correct use of, how to, work in IT industry. So you have to be very careful. So we should not use, anyone's software without the license, meaning paying. Like some software, it's commercial software. You have to pay for that. So definitely, use of the software without payment is unethical, right? Unless you are caught, nobody knows this. So because of that, I mean, it's not ethical. So you will realize when you develop your own software and you have to spend a lot of time on this, then only you realize how hard it is, right? And then person using another person's login details, no, not, it's privacy, right? You're actually violating someone's privacy. You should not do that. It's like you break into someone's house. A business reveals information about customers to the others without the consent of customers. Now, for example, yeah, I have collected your information about your name, address, and then birth date, and so on. So if I give this to somebody else without your permission, it's unethical. Actually, it's illegal as well. But this happened. So you should not do this. So it's unethical. A person creating viruses and spread to the others computers, yes, you should not do that. It's harm the system, harms the computer, harms personal details. So we should not do this. So it comes on. I think it's a good question, this 40th one, right? So I think that's all what we have in 2010. Okay, so with that one, we finished 2010. I have not sent you the 2010 paper, right? So shall we quickly, we have about 30 minutes or so. Shall we quickly go to one, two questions maybe we could try to answer, right? So let's go to the paper. Those who have, can you quickly go to the paper? So I will show you those who do not have. Let me share quickly. So here is the one. So shall we quickly do a couple of questions? I felt that you have still difficulties in, okay, Nangit. Okay, Jimendi, there's a question asking like whether you need to send Western Province answers. You have actually sent Western Province answers to me, one paper. I will correct it and give you. Sorry for delaying it. I'll find some time and send you the corrected papers. And the others also, if you're willing to send the papers, please do so, because we will not be able to discuss the questions there. But time to time, if you can send me like the difficult questions, so I can discuss in the class. So anyway, as I told you earlier, like from next week onwards, we are not going to have the paper discussions like this, but selected questions, and we'll reviewing what we have done so far. We are to focus on in the exam, right? Since we have done papers, I think that's enough. I think you should practice, you should do more. So I will send you all the links of MCQ papers from 2010 to 2019. Practice it, takes the test couple of more times. Try to improve your answers, right? Try to score 40 out of 40 without looking at the answers or the memorizing it, right? Memorizing is another way to do this, but so in that way you can improve the your speed. Another thing is the speed. You can quickly finish the first part and go, you have more time for the second part. Focus on that one. And Western Province papers, I have not sent you last time. I think good I have not done it, but I think yeah, from this week onwards I'll be keep on sending couple of more papers. And it's optional, so I'm not going to force you to do, but I think I highly recommend you to work on those. Send me the answers, ask me the questions like whenever you feel it's difficult. So I will try to help you. So that's the way we should go. Anyway, so after this, we will log into new session and we'll do a couple of questions in 2010 paper. Second paper, question number 4, part 2. There's a part 1, I think it's easy one. Shall we quickly start with this? And this is a good one to understand min and max as well. So I actually prefer this one. So the first one is begin. So that's there. What is the second one? You can use the chat session to type what is the second one, second line. Yes, what is the second line? The second one is input, right? Number of students as n. So you can just say input n, isn't it? Then you can see I equals 0. So this one is easy. Then sum is equal 0. Maybe I will reduce the size, otherwise I don't know whether we can do this. And then we have max, min, right. What's next one? Just after that, Lasindu, what is next? What do you have to type after this? We have put input, yes. Then I equals 0, sum 0, max 0, min. Okay, it's not 0, it's 100. Nilana, what should I type next? Oh, while loop ekak, so it should be a loop, because if you look at from here, it goes like this and it's come back to the top, which means this decision block should be replaced with a loop. So hopefully we will put while, and we have to check whether I is less than n. Good. What is next one, Taraka? Now we are within the loop. Within the loop, what we should do? Wish me. Now we are within the loop. That means we are here. So that means we have to take the input student mark M. So it says in M. So we can just say within this input maybe I will put everything in simple, input M. Then there are a couple of more steps, I equals I plus 1, that's there. And within that loop, we have say sum equals sum plus M. What do you have after this? After sum, Nilana? What do you have after this? Yes, that's a selection, right? We are checking whether M is less than min. If that is the case, we are doing this, otherwise we'll go. So that's a selection. So we have to say if we can check whether M is less than min, then we will say min equals M. That's right. And if, then again you have another selection. So we have to say if M greater than max, then max equals M. And if, that's all right. So we have come up to this, that's all. Then if it is no, then that means end while. So that's end while. Now after end while, so that means we are here. Then we have to find the average value. So how do you find the average value? So we can say average equals sum divided by n, yes. Then we can say print average max min. So that's also possible. And with that one, the end. So I will put everything in simple so that it's consistent. Otherwise, here and there, I will use different cases. It's a very lengthy one, but I think if you look at carefully, it's not that difficult. Whenever you have a decision block, you need to identify whether it's a loop or whether it's a selection, right? Whether it's a repetition or whether it's a selection. So the first one, when you check is I less than n, so we are checking whether it's a repetition. And then we have is M less than min or M greater than max. So in those two cases, it's basically a selection. Any questions from this? Are you clear, or do you want me to explain it again? Computerized medical diagnosis. Now, for example, we can use CAT, MRI, ECG, right? Then there are a lot other things that things like we talk about EEG and so on. So all these actually we can use these different machinery to get the correct diagnosis of a particular patient, right? you can say, okay, accurate diagnosis could be done with those machines, quick and accurate results. Then another one would be like telemedicine. So in telemedicine, you can consult a specialist from remote area with the help of medical personnel, right? Okay. So that's, what about the health sector? There are many others as well. We have discussed like remote surgeries, that's possible. And then you can have, remote video conferences, teletraining, for example, we discuss. How about in teaching and learning? You can use of electronic books, educational websites, teaching using multimedia content, such as pictures, videos, and even animations, right? So for some subject, this is really easy, like science, for example. It was very difficult to teach using traditional way of teaching using a blackboard and a chalk. Now we have a different way to teach it. And use of LMS, we say learning management systems. We call LMS, can easily manage student and teacher activities, right? So it can facilitate. Then we can have, for example, online exams. Now, for example, what I did is online exam. So sometimes I can even use proctoring here, right? I will put this later on. So let me change the size of this, maybe 8. Okay, process could be done quick. And telemedicine, videos and animations. Yeah, that's possible. Learning management system, you can manage this easily. That is another one. So what is the third one? Explain how farming in Sri Lanka could be improved by using ICT. Provide 3 examples, right? We can talk about the greenhouses, automated temperature, humidity, right, lightning, even with the watering, right? So that's possible in greenhouses. the weather information for farming. You can make decisions based on the predicted weather information. So that's another thing we could do. You can manage the farm activity through software system. So this is also possible, right? So these are like some of the things. Let's talk about the last one. Explain 3 barriers in Sri Lanka general public may face reaping the benefits of the internet. So although we talk about this internet and nowadays it's online learning, now everyone could not afford this. You need, right? Need computer, mobile, and internet should be internet connection, which is costly. Yes, not everyone can afford this. Lack of English knowledge. Like most of the information actually in English. Yes, that's also another reason why we have this issue of this. And then signal strengths poor, signal strength in some of the areas. So this is a difficult. Okay, so I think we'll finish for today, and next week onwards I'm going to review this. So let's meet in the next week.